Benz. Nigga, where am I going? Drop the four with my cup, now I'm floating. I can't feel a thing, to be real, I just go through the motions. Where am I going? Nigga, I'm in deep like the ocean. I've been in my bag, everybody around me, I'm ghosting. Where am I going? Drop the four with my cup, now I'm floating. I can't feel a thing, to be real, I just go through the motions. Where am I going?
And we are back. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of HardFoul Radio. Appreciate everybody for tuning in today. This is the show that values time and puts God first. It is a Monday morning, nice and early. Let's get into it. So, we got a couple things we got to discuss here. First and foremost, and it's why I do hard left, hard right on Mondays, is when you have the weekend, when you're high strung in the moment of a game, you're going into that game with whatever narratives and whatever ideas and thoughts you had prior to the game started. So it's hard to really change your opinion mid-game. You're almost forced to, which is why it's tough for a lot of people. But once you've actually known, once the game's over, you've had some time, you go eat something, you go to sleep, you wake up, it gives you more time to go, okay, I have now thought about this. I have now been able to figure out what's going on. You know, it is a matter of... Sorry, my webcam's not showing up for one of them. Let me fix that real quick. For whatever reason, it doesn't want to show up on there. Okay, we'll have to fix that in a second. Okay. I don't know why it's not showing up. Okay. So apologies really quick for the people watching on Instagram and Twitter. I will figure that out, figure out what's going on. But like I said, when you have time and you get to actually sit there and go through and go, hey, this is what's going on. I now need to change my opinion based on what I'm saying. And it's okay to be wrong. Like, I feel like too many people now, especially who are doing podcasts and feel like, oh, I have to be right. And if I'm wrong, I just have to trash the reason that I'm wrong to justify why I'm right. So they'll go, oh, this is my opinion. And when it doesn't show up, they're like, oh, man, these guys just didn't show up today. Oh, man, these guys are awful today. And you have to justify why you potentially could have been wrong. Like, it just does not compute in your head how at any possible chance like this could have been wrong and you could have been wrong, right? And so I say all that to say the Jaguars are just good. I'll talk about the Denver angle more of it tomorrow on Team Tuesday. But the Jaguars are just a good football team. And I'm somebody who dismissed them for most of the season. I'm just like, I just can't see them being good. There were other talk hosts in Denver who were kind of going, man, I just can't imagine the Jaguars being good. Maybe if you just put them in different uniforms. I do think there was a little bit of some corniness to the Liam Cohen, oh, we're a small market thing, because I don't think Sean Payton said that in a rude or disrespectful way, to be honest. I think that was just, however you got to get yourself excited for a game, get yourself excited for a game. That's fine. But I don't think there was any real genuine, I don't think Sean was being a dick in that regard. But the Jaguars are just a good football team. That's the reality of it. The Jaguars, who have now are on a 6-game win streak. The Jaguars are a 5-game win streak. The Jaguars just went to Denver, beat Denver in Denver where they've been undefeated all year, and they had a great game plan. Because now, which really what it proves, and I don't think this was so much of a, oh, see, look, Denver was on an 11-game win streak. The reality is Denver, there was a chance they were going to lose before the playoffs started. And I know that it's probably frustrating because you feel like, damn, if you were going to lose, don't lose that one because you're at home and protect home field advantage, and that's valid. They still have the inside track to get the 1 seed. They're playing the Chiefs backups here on Christmas in a couple days on the 3rd-string quarterback, and then they just got to make sure they beat the Chargers at home, and they still get the 1 seed. So even with the New England win last night. So I'm not really concerned about that. But like I said, we'll attack the Denver angle more seriously tomorrow. Jacksonville has now entered the class of what do you need to do to win in the playoffs? And in my opinion, the 3 things that I've been harping on, you need to have a coach who can get the right game plan. And what Liam Cohen proved, he could go into Denver, pull up a game plan that was going to work against the Denver Broncos in Denver. And that's impressive. You need to have the quarterback who does not have to be one of those 3 or 4 guys that we're counting on to be all-timers. In fact, most of those guys who we're counting on to be all-timers, most aren't going to make the playoffs. No Mahomes, no, and now it looks like no Jackson and no Burrow. So what you're doing with them, the quarterback who can win you the game, who can play, who can execute said game plan, a coach who can put out the game plan that you need. These are the key elements in order to actually have a chance to win the playoffs, as well as a defense that, again, along with your defensive game plan, can execute. Like the coaches that can put together, because the NFL to me is real simple. Yes, you need the best quarterback. That always helps. But what you need most importantly is a coach who puts you in the right position and then the guys who know how to execute. And Jacksonville showed you, both offensively and defensively, they can go out there and do that. That deserves the respect of putting them as one of the best teams in the NFL. And that's what they proved yesterday. So congrats to Trevor Lawrence. Congrats to Liam Cohen, who we all said was like, oh, he's goofy, he's weird, all because of the Duval clip and, didn't look normal. But the reality is that team in Jacksonville, would they be my favorite to win a Super Bowl? No. But they proved yesterday and what they've proved with this winning streak, they can put together consecutive game plans that if you needed to, the kind of game plans that could go out there and be executed to get you to a Super Bowl or potentially win a Super Bowl. Moving on to and this is weird because we've been on, when the NFL changes, like when there's a changing of the guard, it takes us a little bit of time to get adjusted to it. We don't quite go, oh yeah, this is now the new norm. It takes us a year before we're finally settling on, okay, now this is the new norm. And with the great quarterbacks in this league, I'm not saying that we fully transitioned past, I think obviously Mahomes is still going to be relevant with the Chiefs going forward, obviously Lamar and the Ravens, and I still believe even Joe Burrow, if the Bengals get a good draft on defense and act like a competent franchise for at least 6 months, they have a chance to also put themselves in here. But all of them need retooling. It's not just the Chiefs who are going to miss the playoffs. The Ravens, who now looks like are going to miss the playoffs. And the Bengals, who obviously are going to miss the playoffs. Like, all of these teams need retooling. You cannot just go out there and say, hey, star quarterback, go win us the game, go be amazing, and we'll just be fine because we've got a Mahomes, a Lamar, a Burrow. Josh is going to make the playoffs, and honestly, no one really wants to say it. The Bills would be my favorite to go one and done in this postseason because I feel like it is so Josh Allen dependent that if he doesn't have a great game, excuse me, if he doesn't have the great game, then this team's not going to win. And that's what it feels like. And I have no other way to rationalize it besides that. If Josh Allen does not have a great game, the Buffalo Bills are not going far. And so you saw yesterday what the Chiefs look like without Mahomes. Now, people are going to overblow that because there's a bunch of players who are out for the Chiefs yesterday as well. But like Chris Jones was playing, Travis Kelce was playing, and they got absolutely smacked by the Titans, who are one of the worst teams in football. You go look at the Ravens, who the Patriots, Colin's been on this for a while. The Patriots are still kind of in rebuild mode. They don't have Denver's roster. They don't have the Rams roster. They don't have the Eagles, the Lions, some of these other great teams. Like, they're going to get better. And the Ravens are playing basically on even footing with them. And Drake May, obviously, and I know Lamar got hurt last night, but, like, Lamar needs more help. The guys that you initially invested in, the Kyle Hamiltons, the Linderbaums, we obviously reinvested in Marlon Humphrey to play corner. Like, some of these you got to start. I'm not saying move off Hamilton, but you need more help around Lamar, especially if you're going to assign a large amount of quote-unquote help to Lamar being Derrick Henry and then just not use Derrick Henry, which I don't understand for the life of me. But you're seeing these top-tier quarterbacks like Peyton Manning needed Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis because they didn't go anywhere when their defense was absolutely atrocious. He needed pass rushers. Tom Brady needed a roster around him. Drew Brees, we saw the multiple 7-9 seasons when their defense was awful. He needed a roster. And I'm like, you got to start building these rosters. You can't just go, oh, yeah, we have the quarterback, so everything else doesn't matter. Like, no. All of the great quarterbacks, we need some retooling, guys. We absolutely need some retooling. Sorry for the technical issues there. I'm going to have that fixed for anybody watching on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to get that fixed here during the break. With that being said, appreciate everybody. As always, this is HardFoul Radio. We'll be back momentarily.